This is a 2011 ZX-6R with just about 10,000 miles on it. On the other end, here's the shift knob or whatever lever, and you can see it is simply not moving either way at all. If I turn on the motorcycle here, give me a second, right, it will not tell me anything, but if I kind of play around with this, you can tell if I push down, the neutral turns off, and if I push up, the neutral turns on. So it is just kind of stuck in neutral like this. The sub-clutch housing bolt is very tight on the sub-clutch hub that happens to also be freely spinning. So my issue is I'm trying to unbolt this very tight bolt. This bolt that is itself placed on this piece of metal that just spins around. There we go. So it's really hard for me to get the bolt to just not move on the other end. The reason why the sub-clutch hub, I'm going to call it that way, is spinning around that much is because it is in neutral. And the reason why it is in neutral is because I can't get it out of neutral. The reason why I'm opening the motorcycle up is because I cannot get it out of neutral. So here we go. I'll kind of go around where I am right now. Of course, I don't have any lights around because the electricity is out, but this bolt is the one I've been trying to remove for the past 2 days, kind of scratching my hands here and there. But the bolt itself just spins around. There we go. So it is very tough for me to get this piece to not move. So let's see, we will put the camera right here. And there we go. So I'll give it a shot just with the thing loose like that. If that does not work out, I have another plan. No, very well. So I have done that once, and that will be to pretty much roll this up around it. Snagged around here, I have my extra bolt at the bottom there. So let's see. All right. Alright, so here we are. Torque limiter springs A, so I'm supposing there's 4 of them. Maybe I can just remove all of them together. That way they can just stay in the same order. Next, I guess I can remove my strap here. I will try to find the YouTube video that I saw this guy doing with, it was a dog chain or a dog, I can't recall how you call these. So next is the sub-clutch hub thing, which I guess is this one. When I was just in the past, so I can share what worked and what has not worked, I have tried to use one of those soft aluminum or whatever bolts in between like this, the sub-clutch hub, and then the case to try and mechanically prevent it from spinning around. But this has damaged just a little bit around here, which I really don't think is a big problem, because it's not really, it's just like the material is missing. It's not really infringing on the path for any of the parts to move around, so I'm not really worried about this. Once that's done, I can pull on this. Wow, that is amazing. All right. Oh, is that it? Oh, no way. So that's the spacer that we saw. And then can I actually, no, let's see. Using 2 bolts, I need to pull this out. That way I'll be able to pretty much move the clutch housing. So this piece has this wheel in the back that is too far into the case to just be able to slide out. So instead I will put 2 screws in the little holes that are in next to the axle right here and pull out this sort of spacer. And once this spacer is out, the whole clutch housing is going to be able to just slide onto the side and then clear it over there, and then I can just slide it out afterwards. There we go. I have here this, there we go. Oh my god, this old dental tool that I found on the sidewalk one day, which has been extremely handy to me. And so I just pulled it out using this. There we go. And what I had foreseen happened. The whole the whole clutch housing has slid onto the side of there. And so how will I be able to just slide it out? I guess. Oh my god. I'm not a fan of this at all. So what I have noticed is that in the whole center here of the clutch housing, there's also a bearing right here. So I'll be careful with this because I do not want to damage that part. All of this is new to me. I have never worked on any sort of mechanical crazy advances like this, and now I can finally see the mechanism that is linked to my pedal, which is those parts right here. So let's see what happens when I try to push this up and down. It is still stuck. I can see that those parts are moving here and there. Okay, let's see. Though recently. Okay, so let's move on. So that was for the clutch. So after I removed the spacer and the whole thing moved aside and I was able to just pull it up. And there is another spacer as well in the back here. I'll be careful with that one. Next step is the clutch installation, which is not my next step. There we go. Shift pedal removal, okay. External shift mechanism removal. Remove the shift lever. It's still on there. It's pretty handy for me to verify how parts are moving. Remove the clutch. We just finished doing this. All right. Remove the circle clip, okay, and remove the washer, okay. So this is to remove the actual axle that is going through the case. Am I supposed to remove the whole axle? Yeah. Sheesh. Okay. You bet. So then I will remove the whole axle. All right, here it is. It is a little bit bent. I'll try to bend it back in shape afterwards. I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. I'll put it back with the rest of the parts that I have right here. But now the axle should be pretty easy to just slide out. There it goes. Okay. So here's a washer. I'll just keep it down there. And here is another part. Let's see, is there anything damaged on here? Anything that is supposed to move around? I'm not quite sure. Because now I can't test my mechanism anymore. What if that's locked? No. Okay, let's see, what if I put that back in there now? Okay. Oh, because it's not into anything. Let's see. So last time I brought it to the mechanic, he told me he opened it up, looked in there, and then everything was fine. And so when he put it back together, it was working, and he charged me $150 for this. So I was super happy to pay for it, you know? Like, he fixed my bike, I asked him to fix it for me, and he did. So I don't see the issue, but if it's going to reoccur, I'd rather see myself be able to fix it. So it's back in neutral. You know what? I want to say I can just put it back together and see if it works. Now, so you can see the other end as well. While I'm recording, might as well show you that part. So here's the other end of that little piece. So I will put that guy back on, and then right around this is where that little bent guy is, and then that's it, really.